What Buddhists Believe, Expanded 4th edition. K. Sri Dhammananda. Foreword. K. Sri Dhammananda is a renowned Buddhist scholar of noble character and profound knowledge. For nearly 50 years, he has devoted himself to disseminating Buddhism in Malaysia. His activities have been extensive and diverse, including writing, teaching, supporting the activities of many Buddhist groups, promoting education, welfare, cultural activities, and so forth. The Venerable was present at the First World Buddhist Conference, the Buddhist Summit, which was held in Kyoto, Japan in 1998. He wholeheartedly agreed with the summit's purpose, saying, "Let us, the Buddhists of the world, overcome the barriers among our denominations, and return to the original teachings of Lord Buddha." As one of the initiators of the conference, he has been striving to realize peace and serenity for humankind, the ideal of Lord Buddha. There are many religions in the world today, but from the past to the present, people of different faiths have continued to fight one another, each group believing that their belief alone is true. Taking revenge because of a grudge has incurred another grudge, and the misunderstanding has kept growing. While preaching love and peace, these warring groups continue fierce conflicts by force and arms. It will be impossible to attain true world peace and human happiness through such self-righteous and discriminatory attitudes. In this chaotic world of ours, Buddhism is the religion that can lead the modern world into peace. Through the tireless efforts of Venerable Dhammananda, I hope the Buddhist Summit will develop further and the light of Buddhism will shine over the entire world. This book, written by Venerable Dhammananda mainly from the Theravada perspective, is a good introduction to Buddhism. It explains basic principles of Buddhism in detail and is suitable for helping beginners obtain a general view on the religion. There are various Buddhist denominations, which can be categorized into 3 Theravada, Mahayana and Vajrayana. Although they share the same origin, the teachings of Lord Buddha, each has characteristics of its own. I sincerely hope that readers of this book will make a positive effort to also learn the teachings of different denominations. Return to the fundamental teachings of Lord Buddha, the origin of all the denominations, and then proceed hand in hand toward nirvana, that perfect and everlasting peace for all people and the final common goal for every Buddhist denomination. May the Triple Gem bless you all. Most Vendi Arceus in Shinja. President World Buddhist Conference. Founder Priest Ninbyosusha Buddhist Sect of Japan.
Preface. When Venerable Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda first came to this country 50 years ago, on January 2, 1952, Malaya had barely emerged from the devastation of the Second World War and was embroiled in the communist emergency, which had begun some years earlier. The economic and social conditions were far from satisfactory and the practice of Buddhism was practically non-existent, although large numbers of Chinese professed to be Buddhists. The Thai and Burmese communities in the north, the Sinhalese in Taiping, Kuala Lumpur and Malacca practiced their religion in almost exactly the same way as was done in their respective countries of origin. but they did not encourage locals to join their activities. There were, however, small numbers of Western-educated Chinese who were aware that what was passed for Buddhism within their community was largely a hodgepodge of debased Taoism, folk religion and elementary Confucianism. There was a need and a desire among them to discover what the Buddha really taught. In the past, this need had been satisfied by a very small number of English-educated Theravadian monks in Malaya. The names that immediately come to mind are Venerable K. Gunaratana, Venerable Narada, Venerable Mahavira, Venerable Ananda Mangala, all from Sri Lanka, and two Englishmen, Venerable Anoma Mahinda and Venerable Sumangala. The Chinese educated Buddhists had to rely on well-known Chinese monks like Venerable Chukmor, Venerable Kim Beng and others. In 1952, Venerable K. Sri Dhammananda, then only 34 years old, was invited to become the chief incumbent of the Buddhist temple in Brickfields, Kuala Lumpur. He immediately recognized the enormous potential that existed for the propagation of the Dharma among the Chinese in the country. He embarked on a teaching and writing career, which has now spanned half a century and has transformed the image of Buddhism so effectively that today it is practiced by growing numbers of Malaysians. This is because he has steadfastly stood his ground in declaring that Buddhism can only be correctly practiced if one returns to the original teachings of the Buddha. At the same time, he has supported the spread not only of Theravada Buddhism, but also of Mahayana and of Vajrayana, because he maintained that all these schools are a part of the Ekayana, the One Way, while serving the spiritual and cultural needs of the members of the Sasana Abhiwardi Wardhana Society. Venerable Dhammananda also founded the Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia, which continues to publish and distribute his numerous writings as well as other books all over the world. One of the Venerable's books, What Buddhists Believe, was first published in 1962 as a collection of down-to-earth responses to questions regarding how the Buddha's teachings can help people cope with contemporary problems. The book immediately gained a wide readership, which amply proved that it satisfied a long-felt need among Buddhists. It was revised in 1973. And again in 1982, after which it began to be translated into other languages. Today it is available in Spanish, Dutch, Sinhalese, Nepali, Parsi, Burmese, Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese and Indonesian. On one occasion, a Christian delegation visited Dhammananda to have a dialogue. A member of the delegation saw the book on his desk and asked, "Venerable, what do Buddhists believe?" He replied, "Buddhists do not believe anything." Puzzled, the man asked, "Then why did you write this book?" Dhammananda smiled and said, "Well, read the book and see for yourself whether there is anything in Buddhism simply to believe." The man then asked, "All right then, what do Buddhists do?" Dhammananda replied, "Well, first they study, then they practice and finally they experience. Pariyati, pati pati, patavidha." Yes, what Buddhists believe does not tell you what to believe. It is a book that opens up our eyes to see for ourselves the reality of life. The book, written in simple English, in a rather non-conventional manner, has proven to be very effective in clearing the doubts of many readers who are not able to comprehend textual, academic works written by scholars. Ever since its publication, many English-educated people have come to know what Buddhism is all about after reading this book. This fourth expanded edition of W. Buddhists Believe is an expanded version published to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Dhammadutta service in Malaysia by Venerable Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda. The two societies found that the best way to express our gratitude and appreciation to the Venerable Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda for his yeoman service, is to support him in bringing the message of the Buddha to the masses, i.e. by publishing this edition. It is our hope that all readers, Buddhists and non-Buddhists, will lead a more enriching life after reading this book. We wish to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to Mr. Vijaya Samarakrama, Dr. Victor Wieng Lai, Mr. Go Seng Chai, Miss Fu Pao Lin and Miss Than Lai Har, for editing, typing, proofreading, and for their useful suggestions, which help to bring this book to its present form. We also like to thank Mr. Hor Tuk Loon for the cover design and the layout of this book. Without their assistance and cooperation the book would not have been possible. Ir Ang Chu Hong, KSD, PPT. President Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia. Sarath W. Shurandra, President Sasana Abhiwardi Wardhana Society. March 15, 2002.